everyone, it's Currie from Council Tree Library. Not in the library today, as you can see. We're all at home, and that's the right thing to do right now. But since we can't get together for story time, and since I can't talk to all of you all about some of my favorite books, I'm here to share one by video. The book I want to share with you today is in recognition and celebration of Women's History Month, which is March. This book is about a really special woman. She had some different ideas. She lived in the 1800s in New York, and she believed that women should be able to vote, which they were not allowed to do back in that time. She believed that women should work. Women should work on things that were important to them. She also believed that women should be able to wear the clothing that allowed them to move and breathe and dance and run and do all of those things that everyone should be able to do. The book I'm going to share with you today is called You Forgot Your Skirt, Amelia Bloomer. It was written by Shana Corey and illustrated by Chelsea McLaren. The copyright is from 2000 and is shared with permission from the publisher, Scholastic. You forgot your skirt, Amelia Bloomer. A very improper story. Amelia Bloomer was not a proper lady. In fact, Amelia Bloomer thought proper ladies were silly. She thought it was silly that proper ladies were not allowed to vote. So she tried to change the laws so that they could. Good grief, people said. Amelia Bloomer thought it was silly that proper ladies were not supposed to work, so she started her own newspaper and went to work on that. She named the newspaper The Lily. It was a special newspaper all about women. She hired other women to work on it too. A shame, people said. Work? Why work? But the silliest thing of all, thought Amelia Bloomer, was the way proper ladies were supposed to dress. Their dresses were so heavy, wearing them was like carting around a dozen bricks. What was proper about that? Their dresses were so long that proper ladies looked like walking broomsticks. And they acted like broomsticks too because their skirts swept up all the mud and trash from the street. What was proper about that? Their corsets, the corsets they wore underneath their dresses were so tight, it was hard to breathe in them. Proper ladies were fainting at the drop of a hat. What was proper about that? Oh, they're all fainting. And the hoops they wore beneath their dresses were so wide that no matter how they squeezed, no matter how they squished and squashed and stuffed themselves through, proper ladies still got stuck in doorways all over town. What in the world was proper about that? Even little girls had to wear proper dresses so they couldn't run or jump or play. This has got to stop, declared Amelia Bloomer. And then one day, Amelia's friend Elizabeth Cady Stanton came to visit. Elizabeth brought her cousin Libby with her. Libby looked remarkable. was even more improper than Amelia because Libby was not wearing a dress. "Dresses?" said Libby. "Ha! How silly." Instead of a dress, Libby was wearing something that was not too heavy and not too long and not too tight and not too wide. It looked just right. "Brilliant!" announced Amelia. And she went right to work to her sewing machine, and she sewed a matching outfit for herself. And then she went out for a walk. The townspeople were aghast. "Can you believe it?" "You forgot your skirt, Amelia Bloomer," called a little boy. "Shocking," everyone said. But Amelia didn't care one bit. She thought the new clothes were wonderful. She ran and jumped and twirled. And she did all the things she had always wanted to do. Amelia had such a good time that she wanted other women to know about the new clothes too. So when she got home, she wrote about them in the Lily. "Marvelous," said a lady from Boston. "I declare," said a lady from Charleston. "Where can I get one?" asked a lady from Baltimore. Pretty soon, Amelia had letters from women everywhere. They all wanted patterns so they could make the new clothes themselves. Some of them even wanted tips on what to wear with the new style. Some people called the new style of clothes the American costume. Most people just called them bloomers. Of course, not everyone liked bloomers. "Humph," said a very proper gentleman. "Balderdash," said another. "This can only lead to more rights for women," grumbled a third. Over time, bloomers went out of style. Proper ladies and gentlemen everywhere breathed a sigh of relief. "Thank goodness," they said. "Now everyone will forget about this nonsense and things can return to normal." But did people really forget all about Amelia Bloomer and her improper ideas? Well, what do you think? At the end of the story, there's a wonderful author's note that tells all about Amelia Bloomer and her ideas and her work and the history of her time as a women's rights advocate. Well, thanks so much for joining me today for Video Storytime. Keep checking back to this channel to see new postings of rhymes and books and songs, all shared by our very talented Storytime staff at Poudre River Public Library District. Until then, I'm going to say goodbye. We wave goodbye like this. We wave goodbye like this. We clap our hands with all our friends. I can't clap because I'm holding the camera. We wave goodbye like this. Goodbye, goodbye, take care.